Jai Hind. This is Cadet Harshita Gatti representing Karnataka Goa Directorate 6 Karnataka Air Squadron NCC Mangalore, NCC Airwing Flight A. In this session, we'll be discussing about the topic airframe. Here, I'll be talking about the main or the primary control surface of an aircraft. Now let us begin with the presentation. What are the primary controls of an aircraft? The primary flight control surface on a fixed wing aircraft include ailerons, elevators, and the rudders. These control surfaces provide the aerodynamic force which make the aircraft follow a desired flight path. These surfaces help the pilot to control the direction of the plane. The ailerons and elevators are attached to the airframe on the hinges or tracks so that they may move and thereby reflect the airstream passing over them. This redirection of the airstream generates an unbalanced force to rotate the plane about the associated axis. Meanwhile, the vertical tail wing features a flap known as the rudder. The rudder is a fundamental control surface in order to provide means of controlling movement of an airplane about its vertical axis. Now let us understand about aileron in detail. Ailerons. The ailerons are located at the rear of the wing, typically one on each side. They work opposite to each other. The working of aileron is pretty simple to understand. The ailerons are used to control the aircraft's rolling movement or movement around the aircraft's longitudinal axis. When the pilot moves the control stick to the left aileron goes up, while the right aileron goes down, and vice versa. In this picture, we can see that the aileron is lowered. A lowered aileron increases the lift and raises the wing. Here, the aileron is being raised. A raised aileron decreases the lift and lowers the wing. When the ailerons are neutrally positioned, it gives a normal lift to the aircraft. As we understand that a raised aileron reduces lift on that wing and a lowered one increases the lift. Here, the pilot is turning his control stick to the left, which makes the left aileron go up and the right aileron goes down, which causes the left wing to drop and the right wing to rise. This makes the aircraft roll to the left and begin to turn to the left. In this case, the pilot is turning his control stick to the right, where the right aileron is raised, which reduces the lift on that wing, and the left aileron is lowered, which increases the lift, and thus moving the control stick right causes the right wing to drop and the left wing to rise. This causes the aircraft roll to the right. When the ailerons are neutrally positioned, it gives an equal lift to the aircraft, which helps the aircraft fly in a stable position. Now let us move on to the topic elevators. Elevators are present on each side of the tail at the rear of an aircraft. Elevators are used to control the pitching movement or the movement of an aircraft along its lateral axis. In simple words, elevators help the aircraft to navigate up and down. Unlike ailerons, both elevators work together. When the pilot pulls the stick backward, the elevators go up, and pushing the stick forward causes the elevators to go down. When the pilot pulls the stick backward, the elevators go up. Raised elevators push down on the tail and cause the nose to pitch up. This makes the wings fly at a higher angle of attack, which generates more lift and more drag. And pushing the stick forward causes the elevators to go down. Lowering the elevators cause the aircraft's nose to drop and help the aircraft to dive. Centering the stick returns the elevators to neutral position and stops the change of pitch. Now let us understand more about rudder. The rudder is a fundamental control surface typically controlled by pedals rather than a stick. It is the primary means of controlling the yawing movement of an aircraft. On an aircraft, rudder is a directional control surface. It is usually attached to the fin or the vertical stabilizer, which helps the pilot to control the yaw about the vertical axis, which is change in horizontal direction in which the nose is pointing. Both aileron and rudder control inputs are used together to turn an aircraft. The ailerons imparting roll, the rudder imparting yaw, and also compensating for a phenomenon called adverse yaw. Because the rudder moves, it varies the amount of force generated by the tail surface and is used to generate and control the yawing motion of the aircraft, and hence is used to control the position of the nose of the aircraft. We have to understand that to keep the airplane coordinated during a turn, we need to apply the rudder in the direction of the turn. The rudder's direction in aircraft is manipulated with the movement of a pair of foot pedals by the pilot known as the rudder pedal. The rudder pedal are linked to the rudder at the rear of the aircraft to control the yaw in flight and to the nose wheel or tail wheel of most of the aircraft to steer on the ground. In the rudder pedal, the left pedal is used to turn the aircraft to the left and the right pedal is pushed to turn to the right. When the right pedal is pushed, the rudder turns to the right side and helps the aircraft turn to the right. When the left pedal is pushed, the rudder turns to the left and helps the aircraft to turn to the left. So all this put together, the ailerons are used to control the roll or the rolling movement of the aircraft. The rudder is used to control the yawing movement of the aircraft, and the elevators are used to control the pitching moment of the aircraft. Now let us move on to the topic landing gear. Landing gear is the undercarriage of an aircraft or spacecraft and may be used for either takeoff or landing. Aircraft generally needs landing gear for both. Typically wheels are used, but skids, skis, floats or a combination of these and other elements can be deployed depending upon the surface. For an aircraft, the landing gear supports the craft when it is not flying, allowing it to take off, land and taxi without damage. The landing gear can be classified into two types: fixed landing gear and a retractable landing gear. Fixed landing gear. A fixed landing gear is attached to the airframe and remains exposed to the slipstream as the aircraft is shown. It just hangs underneath an aircraft during the flight. This is how the fixed landing gear looks while the aircraft is on the ground, and this is how it looks when it is in flight. We can see how it is being kept exposed throughout. Retractable landing gear. Since landing gear produce drag in flight, retractable undercarriages are used to reduce the drag. They retract into wings or fuselage where wheels flush with the surrounding surface or stay concealed behind the flush mounted doors. It is designed to streamline the airplane by allowing the landing gear to be stored inside the structure during flight. Most retractable gear is hydraulically operated, though some are electrically operated or even manually operated on very light aircraft. The landing gear is stored in a compartment called a wheel well. Some aircraft do not have landing gear doors or compartments where the wheels can be retracted. If wheels don't retract completely but protrude partially exposed to airstream, it is called semi-retractable gear. Here are some of the visuals to show how a retractable landing gear works. Requirements of the landing gear. The landing gear is a principal support of the airplane when it is parked, taxiing or while taking off and landing. The most common type of landing gear consists of wheels, but as mentioned earlier, airplanes can also be equipped with floats for water operations or skis for landing on snow. The landing gear consists of three wheels, two main wheels and a third wheel positioned either at the front or rear of the airplane. Landing gear with a rear mounted wheel is called conventional landing gear. Airplanes with conventional landing gear are sometimes referred to as tail wheel airplanes. When the third wheel is located on the nose, it is called a nose wheel, and the design is referred to as a tricycle gear. A steerable nose wheel or tail wheel permits the airplane to be controlled throughout all operations while on ground. Most aircrafts are steered by moving the rudder pedals, whether nose wheel or tail wheel. Additionally, some aircraft are steered by differential braking. Landing gears take up the load of aircraft while landing, thereby prevent structural damage to the airframe. The tricycle gear airplane has a few advantages. It allows more forceful application of the brakes during landings at high speeds without causing the aircraft to nose over. It permits better forward visibility for the pilot during takeoff, landing, and taxiing. It leads to prevent ground looping by providing more directional stability during the ground operations, since the aircraft's center of gravity is forward of the main wheels. The forward center of gravity keeps the airplane moving forward in a straight line rather than ground looping. This was all about the primary control surface of an aircraft and the landing gears. Thank you. Jai Hind.